Hey traders, welcome back to another mindset training video. So it's been a while since I do any mindset lessons, I think at least 2 weeks. And today's topic is going to be a little bit more casual because yesterday I had a conversation with one of our members, and this trader seems like he's always doubting himself and a lot of things. So he also asked me, how can I really be successful? I feel like I'm sort of rushing the process, etc. But what I want to tell all of you regarding today's topic, which is law of attraction and the importance of what really the output, right? The words that comes out of your mouth. Most of you know that if you've been in the market if you've been financially trading for maybe 2 years, 3 years time, or just a couple of years in general, you pretty much know that it's a long-term game. I believe majority of you here, and the main reason why all of you are staying inside this community is because you've been struggling for some time, and you finally just want to say, hey, I'm done of chasing signals, I'm done for not sticking to the right process, I'm done for not having the right education, not receiving proper mentorship. That's why you decided to join my community. I'm not trying to say this is the best community, but at least we provide proper education, proper training, guiding you to the right route to trading consistency. So remember law of attractions. If you are someone who's constantly thinking that 90% of traders fail, 95% of traders just won't make it, then ultimately it gets difficult for you to actually reach that top 1 to top 5% traders goal. Because when I first started trading, I clearly knew that the statistics showed that majority of people actually fail, especially in short-term trading or day trading. But I had that tunnel vision on, I want to become the top 5%. So instead of questioning yourself on how can I not become part of the failing trader, part of the struggling traders, instead start questioning yourself, how can I make sure I fit into the top 1%, top 5%? You see that just that reverse engineer, just that switch, that tiny little switch on your self-talk, just immediately change the entire perspective of how do you view trading success really is. For example, if today your goal is to say, I want to chase this girl, I want to get this woman, I want to marry this woman, whatever. Your goal should be thinking, how can I make sure I don't do the wrong things? How can I make sure that I don't get cheated? How can I make sure that I don't do anything that make her unhappy? But instead of just focusing on how can I improve myself, improve my personality, how can I lead in this relationship and ultimately have a beautiful marriage, it's the same thing. Also, I'll just give you one more example. If today let's say you are trying to get a doctorate degree, right? You're trying to become a doctor, and you are required to go through that few years of intensive studies. Your mindset should be focusing on, how can I become the best doctor? How can I pass it? Instead of trying to focus, how can I not fail? Because the difference is massive. When you try to say, how can I not fail in anything that you do, you are expecting the worst case scenario. It's not a bad thing to start picturing or planning out the worst case scenario, but just don't place yourself into a black box of just no light at all. You have to start focusing on all the positive self-talks and really start imagine things. Be dare to speak out your dreams. Be daring to really dream big and chase for your goals. So instead of saying that I don't want to fail, focusing on all the negative stuff, surround yourself in a positive environment and say, I want to succeed in this space, I'm going to make it, I'm going to become the top 1% trader, I'm going to be able to afford all this thing, I probably just need a few more years time. So remember, especially this particular trader, if your goal today is to say, I want to become a disciplined trader, then you should be having your eyes on what is the right thing to do in order to put myself a step closer to become a consistently profitable trader. So that's not so difficult to do it. All right, the right process are doing a journal, doing a game plan, do your back testing, do your reading, maybe do your meditation, maybe go to the gym. All these process, all these back end ugly, tiring process. Don't put your eyes on, Neo, I know the majority of traders fail. I feel like, am I going to fail as well? When you start, when you're just starting to reflect all these negativities inside of your body system, you are just constantly feeling exhausted of trading. You're always feeling extremely drained, extremely slack off, lack of motivation, because you are just so negative. And all of you must remember this: trading is a space, is an industry, is a business that only the top 5 to top 1% traders succeed. If your goal is to set to become a profitable trader, at the beginning you should be aiming for, how can I not lose money? Alright, instead of saying how can I not lose money, maybe another way of saying is, how can I break even? Right, don't even think about making money in your first 1 to 2 years, because that is just purely unrealistic. I was fortunate enough that I actually started to make money from trading on my 2nd year, but it's difficult. Not everyone has the ability to do this, and there will be some sort of talent as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here sitting in front of all of you and just teaching all of you different lessons, whatever. Yes, less talent does play a bit of role in trading, but the biggest part are still, how long can you stick around with this business? I've seen a lot of people that make a lot of money in trading, but very soon, within 1 to 2 years, they lose everything and they just gone out of the market. They're just completely disappeared. The goal is not to say, this year I want to make $1 million. This year I want to make $250,000, 250K. The goal is to say, how can I make sure every year my performance goes up? How can I make sure I'm learning new stuff every single year? Because trading, sometimes you fall into the trap of hitting a ceiling, you're hitting a plateau, you feel like you're not improving at all. But that is exactly something you have to overcome yourself. As a trader, you are your own employee. At the same time, you're also your own boss. So it is your job to constantly assess, review your own performance, and seek for areas of improvement. I don't want any of you who's inside this community to be arrogant enough to think, oh, I'm good enough. There's no such thing as good enough. Once you hit the 4 figures, you're gonna hit 5. Once you hit 5, you're gonna hit 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's the ongoing process, it's the ongoing improvement that gives you fulfillment in trading. Because as a trader, there's no such thing as financial goal that we want to hit. It is all, why are all of you still stick around with trading, stick around with this seemingly impossible industry? Is because all of us agree one thing: we are extremely competitive. We refuse to accept, to admit, to acknowledge the fact that we will fail. We're trying to prove ourselves right. We're trying to say that we're going to make it to the top 1 to top 5%. So any aspiring traders, I always believe we all have one common trait. I don't care if your personality is aggressive, conservative, whatever. You are all here because of one simple reason: because you are competitive. Because deep down in your heart, you want to prove yourself. You want to prove yourself, not necessarily proving to your parents, to your spouse, to your surroundings, but you're trying to trade to prove yourself that if I can make trading work, if I can become the top 1% trader, I can achieve anything that I want in my life. And I want all of you to start having this mindset. I know trading is difficult. Even up until today, every time when I experience drawdown, it hurts. It really hurts me. And a lot of times I do have a lot of self-doubts as well. But the difference between me and some of you, not all, some of you, is one thing: experience. You just cannot compare and say, hey, why is Neil able to achieve these kind of result? Why is he able to spot some of these high quality setups while I'm sitting here not seeing any opportunity? That's because all of you have to imagine, how many years have I been involved in the market? Right? Experience is the most prominent, is essentially the biggest thing that would differentiate you as compared to the competitor. 5 years later, you will be sitting here and say, right now I'm experienced enough to be able to lead, to guide, to coach the newer traders. And 5 years later, I'll be on a different level and I'll say that finally I can call myself an elite trader. So it's the ongoing growth that really makes trading so satisfying, so fulfilling. All right. So please, all of you, if you're watching this mindset lesson, the goal of this topic is still to make sure I comfort and also I try to cheer all of you up, because trading is genuinely not easy. I've been through a lot of jobs. I've been as a bartender, working as a housekeeper, cleaning toilets. I've been working in casino as well. I've worked in cafes, bars, restaurants, and nothing compared to how tired trading is. It's exactly because we are now essentially turning ourselves into an entrepreneur. Trading is an entrepreneurship. I want all of you to understand this. This is not a hobby, definitely not an interest. This is an entrepreneurship. Nothing is as difficult as trading. I've gone through a lot of things in my life, business failure, whatever. Trading is yet the most difficult thing I've ever achieved in my entire life. And I don't say achieve. Up until today, I'm still learning. I still go through drawdowns. I still have to constantly assess, review myself every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. All right. I'll talk to you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.